This presentation is presented to you by the nonprofit Washington Regional Alcohol Program, or WRAP. Via public education, innovative health education programs, and advocacy, WRAP works to prevent drunk driving and underage drinking in the Washington metropolitan area. Today, we're going to talk about alcohol, what it is, its effects, short and long-term consequences, and legal consequences. Alcohol is ethyl alcohol or ethanol. It is found in beer, wine, and liquor. It is the fermentation of sugars, starches, and grains. It's the central nervous system depressant. It is a drug. Let's define what a drink is. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention defines a moderate drinker as a man who can have 2 drinks per day and a woman who can have 1 drink per day. But how much is in a drink? Given these concentrations, beer at 5% alcohol concentration, wine at 12% concentration, and liquor at 80 proof, or in other words, 40% concentration, how many ounces are in each standard size drink? Beer at 5% alcohol concentration is 12 ounces. Wine at 12% alcohol concentration is 5 ounces. And liquor at 80 proof, or 40% alcohol concentration, is 1.5 ounces. These are standard size drinks. As long as you keep these concentrations the same and these ounces the same, alcohol is equal in each drink to each other. However, change one thing and you change the equality of the drink. Now that we've defined what a drink is, what are some of the reasons why people drink? Here are some reasons why people drink. Peer pressure is a big thing. You're at a party and your friends are drinking and they try to make you drink. Some drink because they can and some drink because they want to. There are a lot of different reasons why people drink. So why does alcohol affect people differently? Gender, weight, quantity, tolerance, food eaten, and even your state of mind can affect how alcohol affects you. Now, there are 3 reasons why alcohol affects women differently than it does men. First, alcohol dehydrogenase. Long story short, it's an enzyme found in most men's stomachs, but not women's, which breaks down alcohol. Second, fat. Biologically speaking, women have more fat than men. When comparing fat versus muscle cells have water and fat does not. The water in the muscle cells dilutes the alcohol just a little. Third, emotions or hormones. Women go through hormonal changes each month, which can affect how alcohol affects the body. Here's a spectrum of drinking. It goes from casual, moderate, abuser, and then to addiction. Starting with casual drinking, how often do you think casual drinkers drink? Casual drinkers drink once in a while, according to the CDC, usually during holidays and special occasions, no more than a few times a month. What about a moderate drinker? Moderate drinkers drink more often than casual drinkers. Once a week, twice a week, every other day, every single day is the max. A man can have 2 drinks per day and a woman can have 1 drink per day. Should they exceed that amount, and they move down to abuser. According to the CDC, an abuser comes in 2 forms, heavy drinker and binge drinker. A heavy drinker is a man who drinks more than 2 drinks per day and a woman who drinks more than 1 drink per day. The second type of an abuser is called a binge drinker. A binge drinker is a man who drinks more than 5 drinks per 2 hours and a woman who drinks more than 4 drinks per 2 hours. Lastly, drink even more and you move down to addiction. Drink too much and your body begins to crave alcohol. When you've reached the point of addiction, you are no longer choosing to drink or even drinking because you want to. At this point, it seems as if your body needs the alcohol because without it, you have problems. With it, you have problems. Either way, addiction affects every aspect of your life. It affects your relationships with friends, with family. It affects how you do at work and school. It affects every part of your life. Drugs. Never mix drugs and alcohol together. Here we have different medications, like allergy meds, anxiety meds, depression meds, and pain medications. Did you know that if you mix Advil, Tylenol, and even aspirin with alcohol, it can lead to upset stomach, bleeding, ulcers, liver damage, and even rapid heartbeat? But it's not just prescription medications and over-the-counter medications. It also includes herbal remedies, things that are natural. For example, chamomile. Chamomile is an herb commonly found in the form of tea, and it relaxes you. So we can say that it has depressive effects on the body. Add alcohol to the mix, and it amplifies the effects. It makes you extra sleepy, drowsy, dizzy. It can cause breathing problems and even affect your memory. All of those are short-term side effects. The long-term side effects, they can include liver damage, liver failure, and even death. So never, ever mix drugs with alcohol, whether we're talking about prescription medications, over-the-counter meds, illegal drugs, or even herbal remedies. Mixing with alcohol can cause many problems. Imagine if you were under the influence of alcohol. Alcohol not only affects your vision, but also your hearing and your coordination. It alters perceptions and emotions. It impairs your judgment. It leads to bad breath and hangovers. Those are just the short-term side effects. The long-term effects of alcohol affect your entire body. Let's start with the brain. Drinking can lead to bad reflexes, memory loss, and even make one prone to blackouts. The heart. Drinking can cause an enlarged heart, heart palpitations, and even high blood pressure. Your stomach. Not only are you putting empty calories into your stomach, which can lead to weight gain, but it can also lead to ulcers and vomiting. Your liver. Drinking can lead to liver damage, cirrhosis, hepatitis, failure, and cancer. Reproductive system. Everyone is affected. Alcohol affects every single organ listed up here, even the ones that aren't. But it affects your brain the most. Your brain continues to develop into your early adulthood around age 25. Alcohol can affect the parts of the brain that are involved with decision-making and emotions. In addition, the earlier you start drinking alcohol, the more likely you are to develop a dependency to it later on in life. What's so dangerous? Those who are under the influence are more likely to do things they wouldn't normally do sober. For example, physical assault or homicide, unintentional injury, and even aggravated assaults are more likely to happen. True or false? Is a blackout the same as passing out? False. A blackout is when you are awake and active during a period of time, but you don't remember it. A person is still talking, walking, and doing things, but they don't remember anything they were doing during the time they black out. Passing out is when you cannot be awakened. You're unconscious. According to the CDC, alcohol increases risky behaviors. For example, alcohol poisoning. When alcohol builds and builds in your body can't get rid of it fast enough. In turn, the alcohol starts to shut down systems in your body. In addition, it increases other risky behaviors such as not wearing a seatbelt or sexual assault, violence, unprotected sex, unplanned pregnancies, STDs, and HIV or AIDS. In 2017, 24% of young drivers ages 15 to 20 years old had been drinking when they died in traffic crashes. In the next year, 2018, 10,511 people died in alcohol-related crashes. That's a fatality every 50 minutes. That's about the time you sit in class. What is BAC? BAC is blood alcohol concentration. It is the amount of alcohol in a given volume of blood. Here we have a chart of BACs. Next to each measurement are the typical effects and the predictable effects on driving. That said, how do you sober up? Water? Food? The only way to sober up is time. You have to wait for your liver to process all the alcohol out of your body. Or better yet, don't drink. To be sober means you have absolutely no alcohol in your system. It will take approximately an hour to an hour and a half to process one standard size alcoholic beverage out of your body. The other things don't work. Water and food, while always a good idea before, during, and after drinking, do not make you sober. It will not dilute nor absorb alcohol. Showers, coffee may make you feel better, but can also cause more harm than good. Sleeping may help, but beware. Those who sleep under the influence must sleep on their sides. If they sleep on their backs or stomachs, they risk vomiting and choking on their vomit. This is due to the fact that alcohol slows every system and reaction in the body, including the human gag reflex. Again, the only way to sober up is to wait. This chart shows you as your BAC increases, so does your impairment. Start at the bottom, drink a little, and you have mild impairment. It starts to affect your coordination, speech, and makes you sleepy. Move higher on the chart, and the list gets more dangerous. When you get to the top of the chart, there's a significant risk of death due to suppression of vital life functions, meaning the alcohol can shut down the whole body. Underage drinking in the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia is illegal. There is zero tolerance for drinking under the age of 21. If you are caught drinking and driving in each jurisdiction, these are the consequences. If you're caught possessing, consuming, and purchasing alcohol underage, you could face the following. If you're caught with a fake ID, you could face the following consequences. If you look, DC, Maryland, and Virginia all have fines across the board, in addition to other consequences for adults or parents who aid minors in getting alcohol. What's that money spent on? Whether we're talking about underage drinking or drunk driving, financially it can be a lot. Some examples include attorney fees, insurance rate increase, and court costs. When it comes to drunk driving, approximately $5,000 to $20,000 is spent more or less after an arrest. Put that into perspective. With $20,000, you could use that towards tuition in the future or pay for some college. You could buy a new laptop or even a bunch of new replacement cell phones. With $20,000, you could do so much. Imagine wasting it on trying to get your license back or getting out of jail, paying for fines or fees or attorneys, all those things. It's money wasted. Lastly, it's not just the money. Whether we're talking about DUIs or underage drinking, it can change your life. You lose a life and you can't get a life back. Injuries, they can last a lifetime. Criminal record, get caught with a DUI or driving under the influence, and it can affect your life, including applying for jobs. DUIs can make applying for jobs more difficult, and car insurance rates increase. Also, it can lead to social embarrassment. Imagine if you're using social media and you post something online while under the influence. It can change your life negatively in an instant. Basically, this. If you choose not to drink, great. If you choose to drink, please do so legally and responsibly. If not for the law, do so for your body because your brain continues to develop into your early adulthood. You only have one body, one brain. You might as well treat it nicely. Drinking responsibly. You hear it all the time. What exactly does it mean? Some examples include not drinking and driving, not getting into a car with a drunk driver, making a plan before you go out, and making sure you make good and sound decisions. The one decision you make doesn't affect you, but it can affect everyone around you. One decision can cost lives. So always make good decisions. Any questions? Any comments? Please feel free to email Rap or Tammy Wan should you have any questions. And thank you.